But becoming a cook, whether you know how to cook or not, and you know what? I was nobody special. You know, sitting here telling you that I was a cook who didn't know how to cook because not everybody, but a lot of the prisoners, you know, when it comes time for them to move up, okay, Jones, we got a position open for a cook. You know how to cook? Shit, cook. I was cooking mess rocks up out there in the freeway. Yeah, I know how to cook a pancake.
We're hanging on a memory. We're hung out to dry. Just doing our time where the neon stars shine.
Oh, man. I'm really having a bad day. It's Wednesday as I'm filming this. You'll probably see this in the next day or so, a couple of days. And really, it's been a bad week. Not gonna spend a lot of time dwelling on that, but it's not like just one particular thing that's causing it to be bad. It's like just so much is just piling up. But anyways, the only thing that brings me any sense of solace, I think that's the right word, is getting the opportunity to film this video that I've been thinking about for some time now, and I'm eager to film this and share this with you guys. Forget all of the woe is me. I've got some pretty big things going on in my life that absolutely suck right now, but I can't do a damn thing about that, so let me try to pep myself up a little bit with this video here, folks. Today I want to share with you guys the prison kitchen hierarchy, or the food chain up inside of a prison kitchen. What exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about starting from the bottom and now we're here. You know, there's levels to everything in this life, including working in a prison kitchen. You're gonna have to start at the worst of the worst, and maybe if you don't get knocked off or told on or beat up or kicked out, maybe you're gonna have the opportunity to work yourself up into, well, a lot more glamorous position in terms of anything that might even be not nowhere near close to that with a prison job. But in terms of prison work, it's probably some of the best that you can hope for, sometimes. Let's not waste a lot of time with theatrics and fodder. Let's go ahead and get right up into this thing. I'm gonna share with you guys the prison kitchen worker totem pole, where you're gonna start from, where you're gonna go, where you could potentially go, and I'm also gonna try to throw in a couple of perks about those positions as well. You know, when you're locked up, having a job is something that you might have to have. Sometimes you might not get paid for working. Sometimes you will, and it might seem like you're not getting paid. Sometimes it's just good to have that job to keep your mind off of the free world, off of that girl, off of what you can't control, and to be able to just pass the time. Working will help you bid. I've also heard of guys using their prison jobs and putting those on resumes and applications when they come home. And I don't say that to be funny at all. I mean, it is something that dudes do, and I'd just be curious to know, does it actually work? So yeah, I'm looking at your resume right here. It says that you were banging trays in a tray room at some DOC? What exactly is DOC? Oh, Department of Corrections. Next! Hopefully that doesn't happen. But it's with that skit right there that brings us to the very first thing that makes this list. When you're working up in that kitchen, when you finally get hired on, when they take you down to laundry and give you your kitchen whites, your little apron, your gown, your cap, you're gonna be feeling it. Boy, I got me a job up in the prison though. Check out the flex with that Chef Boyardee cap on top. It definitely ain't gonna be glamorous on day number one. Because where you're gonna start, you know, I don't know if it's different in another state, and if it is, please let me know. But here in the state of good old Virginia, when you get a job up inside of that kitchen, your ass is starting at the bottom of the bottom, and that's in that tray room, washing trays and other dishes, banging out them trays, potentially running across some things that you might not want to run across. When I worked in the kitchen, this happened to me in the jail now, and I was banging out the trays. I've ran across human fecal matter up inside of there, doo-doo. It almost got on me too. I was banging that money out, boom, boom, boom. You pop the top, you're moving so fast, boom, boom, boo, whoa, that's doo-doo right there. That's doo-doo right there. Somebody squatted on top of this tray. Why? I've ran across letters inside of the tray. Sometimes please for help. Yo, put more food on the tray. Sometimes cussing you out. Yo, F y'all working up in that kitchen. I know y'all eating good. Shaking the spoon on us back here in population or in isolation. The tray room is definitely where you're gonna start out. You know, I've seen people who work in the kitchen, and I've been there too, where when you start in that tray room, You know, sometimes you're working 3 shifts a day. You're getting up at the ass crack of dawn. You got to go there at breakfast. You got to go there at lunchtime. You got to go there at dinner time. The tray room usually gets no love from anybody else in the kitchen, any other type of kitchen workers. No staff is going to throw you a bone neither, unless they know you from the street or something. You know, the tray room is just frowned upon. Noses are turned up to people who work in the tray room. I know we're locked up together, but you work where in the kitchen? The tray room. I work in staff dining. Whoa, my God, can I get your autograph? You're a prisoner like me, dude. And you know, for good reason, people will frown upon the workers in the tray room. It's not without merit to some degree, because, you know, it usually goes. Soon as you get that job up in that kitchen, you got that chef boyardee joint position just right, and your ass clocks in for your first shift up in that kitchen, your ass is running around trying to make friends. Hey, Dan, I know you one time. Didn't we go to court together? Yeah, you testified against your cellmate. I mean, hey, look, I ain't gonna say nothing. Can I get a chicken patty though? It's chicken patties for lunch, right? Dudes are annoying as hell who work in the tray room. And you know, like I said, this is the totem pole. This is the food chain. This is the levels we're breaking down in this video. Well, up inside of the tray room, there's also the bottom of the barrel there. Because you got like 5 or 6 dudes who work in the tray room together. Your most luxurious of the tray room jobs might be catching the trays coming out of the dish machine. They're all clean. You got that steam hitting you like you in a sauna somewhere. Your pores are opened up. That might be the best of the jobs. That guy, he's on his way to what's coming next for him. Yeah, man, that guy, he made it. The tray room's almost like, you know, Navy SEAL training, and no disrespect, but it's like Hell Week is basically what it is. From what I've heard of what Hell Week could be like, I'm sure it's nothing like that, but I just want to use that type of an analogy. When you go up in there on day number 1, you're starting at the bottom of the barrel, you are banging trays. You're going to have food and feces and fecal matter and all sorts of shit caked and matted up in your hair. You're going to smell like a garbage disposal. You're going to go back to the cell block or the housing unit. Ain't nobody going to want you even near them. Yo, go take a shower. Oh my God, you smell like a septic tank. And in terms of perks in the tray room, there's not very many. Most of the time, people don't like you. They consider you annoying. They're going to think that you're a snitch. You can't be trusted because you might try to tell on somebody, get them knocked off so you can move up. The only perks in that regard are maybe you run across a full tray. You'll be eating that cornbread right off. Oh my God, nobody touched this tray. You're going to be looking like a Cambodian or something. Like, no disrespect, I don't know. You're going to be looking like somebody who ain't ate in a long time. Damn, dog. For the cornbread, though. The only perks of that job, in my opinion, would be you've got a job. There's the potential that you can move up in the world. You're getting out of the housing unit, so your time could potentially go by a little bit quicker. Maybe you could take this home and put it on a job application or resume. Those are the only real perks that I see in terms of working in the tray room. From the tray room, where are you going to go? Well, again, here in this state, you got to start in the tray room, and then after the tray room, you got to go to the line. Between the tray room and the line, those might both be like the boot camps of working in the prison kitchen. And this is where they're really going to test you at. This is where your willpower is going to come into play. And this is going to be where you really get the opportunity to first interact with food. Now, there could be a couple of different ways that a guy works on the line, whether prisoners are coming to a chow hall to eat in that chow hall. You know, you're going to be right there through the plexiglass, or maybe there's not even a bulletproof glass type of protection between you and another, you and the prisoners. As you're putting those peas on the tray, or that gravy, or those mashed taters on the tray, or that meat rock Salisbury, whatever it may be. You know, not only do you have to test your willpower in terms of don't take that brake pad, Joe. Do not take that cow tongue, that boot. I gotta have it. I got no control. You're fired. Not only is your willpower going to be tested in that regard, which, you know, a lot of dudes, they don't make it. A lot of dudes don't make it past the tray room, and then even more don't make it past the line. If you make it past the line, you're special. At least in terms of prison worker employee status goes. From the line, you'll get a little more respect from the other prisoners who are working in the kitchen. Maybe you'll get the opportunity to start making some friends. Maybe an extra chicken patty might start coming your way. But even though the line is nowhere near as dirty as the tray room job was, it's just as bad. Because now you've got to deal with beef. And I'm not talking about anything that they're serving you up in there, because nothing that they're serving you is that. I'm talking about what's going to come from them other prisoners and your interaction with them behind shaking that spoon. Meaning, not really putting a whole lot of food up on them trays. Them dudes are going to be cussing you. Hey, yo, what the f are you doing? You better put some more mashed taters on that damn, you mother. If I see you on the rec yard, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't type of a situation. Because here's the thing, they usually got a prison staff member, like a prison kitchen employee or guard, somebody is standing right there watching what you're putting on that tray. And if you put too much food on that tray, you might catch a street charge. I'm kidding, but you will get fired. You know, this is where you got to learn how to, walk that thin line, walk that tightrope. You got to keep the peace with the prisoners, and you got to keep the peace with the staff. And you know what? You got to keep the peace with the staff even more, because they're the ones who are in control of where you're going from working on that line. Excuse me, kitchen employee, is this enough peas? That was 2. I put 2 peas on that man tray. You know he gonna be starving. You're gonna get a Christmas bonus, I know. I'm gonna see to it that you get that. Perks of working on the line. You're interacting with the food. You're starting to get a little bit of favoritism with the staff and with, the other inmate workers up in the kitchen. And this is important, because if you can survive the line from here, the opportunities really blossom in terms of where you can go. Now, you can't just go anywhere that you want to go. A position has to open up, and it might not be what you want. A position has to open up first and foremost, and it's almost like a roulette. Now, there could be a position that you want, and you could just tell on the dude who's working that position, get him up out of there. That happens all the time. But if you're a upstanding, decent human being, even as a prisoner, you're just going to wait and bide your time and take what comes next. And, there's usually going to be something decent that comes from the line, such as becoming a cook. I remember one time I went from the line to being a cook. I don't know how to cook. I remember getting up, I had to get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and cook 1,500 pancakes. Actually, I think it was more than that. I think there was 1,500 inmates in the jail. I had to cook 3,000 pancakes from 2 o'clock in the morning till like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning when they start putting those trays together. You want to talk about pressure? You ever had to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and cook 3,000 pancakes? And you don't even know how to cook? A cook is a little more glamorous of a job. One thing that we forgot to mention with the tray room and the line in any job is pay scale. In the tray room, you could be making as little as 17 to 27 cents an hour. I'm pretty sure it was something like around 27 cents an hour. On the line, I'm pretty sure that you're making about 27 cents, maybe upwards of 32 cents. As a cook, you're making like 35 cents. And really, your most highest paid positions up inside of the prison kitchen are gonna be 35, 45, 55 cents an hour. The pay isn't even what's making you stay. It's the potential of getting the food, the potential of finding a love connection with a staff member or a guard. It's the potential of getting your hustle on. Like, there's other things more important than just the pay scale. Passing the time, keeping your mind occupied. But becoming a cook, whether you know how to cook or not, and you know what? I was nobody special. Sitting here telling you that I was a cook who didn't know how to cook, because not everybody, but a lot of the prisoners, when it comes time for them to move up, okay, Jones, we got a position open for a cook. You know how to cook? Shit, cook. I was cooking mess rocks up out there in the freeway. Yeah, I know how to cook a pancake. Ironically, even though everybody's going to say they know how to cook, and I did the same thing, many of your prisoner kitchen workers who are cooks aren't going to be able to. They're not going to be very good at it, and it's going to be evident by the food that you're seeing on the tray. Perks of being a cook. Boy, you got you a little bit of a position of power now. You go back into that housing unit, yeah, you don't know what I do up in the kitchen, what I do. Oh, no, you better go holler at somebody on the line who really needs it like that to go get them to boof 4 or 5 onions for you. And if you don't know what boofing is, you might want to look that up, because that's going to hurt. Yeah, I'm a cook, dog. I'm a cook. Hey, look, I'm a cook. Yeah, I'm like Gordon Ramsay up in that joint. Major doors start to open up. It's almost like the floodgates start to open up. You get a lot more clout with the guards and with the You know, the staff workers, they might come over and try to shoot the shit with you. Hey, I just had to fire Jackson. Oh, no, you didn't, did you? You fired Jackson. Yeah, it'd be like that. Oh my God, it'd be like that. You know, I should do a video on like the many different types of people who work in a prison. Holy shit. Siri, take a note. The many different types of personalities that work inside of a prison. Coming soon. That's right. Now, you got to be careful real quick when you become a cook, because a cook is a position that you could get stuck in. You know, like I say, from the line, you can kind of go anywhere, but no matter where you go, you're probably going to end up stuck there. And it's going to be hard to kind of like change from there because you're really topping out. So you could be a cook. That's one thing. You could end up working in a cooler. I mentioned at Haynesville, I was working in the produce cooler. You had the produce cooler, which had your fruits and vegetables. You had the frozen cooler, which had everything that was frozen. You had the dairy cooler. Oh boy, that milk and them eggs, and sometimes they even had the chocolate milk. Yeah, the dairy cooler was something special. All of those jobs right there are they far exceed, that's your ace of spades right there. All of those far exceed a cook position. It's gonna be better pay. Forget having the little convos with staff members because you a cook. Yo, now you're getting trusted. You're getting trusted. And that, boy, that can go a long way. Yeah, working in a cooler, you're definitely gonna start getting trusted. And that's, you know, that can go a lot of ways. That can open up doors for you. You know, maybe a relationship can start to blossom. You might have a female CO or staff member that comes in there and be like, oh, damn, Jay Smooth, you were just on the line last week. Yeah, I went on vacation. I went to Myrtle Beach. Yeah, thank you for asking. I went by myself. Yeah, I didn't even, but you working in the cooler now? Oh boy, you done moved up in the world. Interestingly enough, that's how you're gonna perceive that conversation. That's probably gonna be more just like, why did they even give you this job? You're a nothing ass prisoner. That's what you are. I'm more important than you. I am a prison staff member. But you're going to hear that a totally different way sometimes. Now, I'm trying to do this in the proper procedures here. So your coolers are going to trump your cook position. But what could trump, you know, your cooler positions? Because again, you've got access at this point. Perks, you've got access to whatever. Perks, you're gonna be friends with the dude who's got the freezer and the dude who's got the dairy cooler because you got the fruits and vegetables. They need you now. Whether they like you or not, they need you. Hey, yo, Joe, let me get a banana. You getting enough of those up in the back shower in the housing unit, but ain't none of my business. You want that banana? Hey, can you get me a couple of frozen hamburgers? The real ones, the Angus beef joints. Yeah, but there is a few different positions that are better than those coolers. The next that we gotta mention is the bakery. The bakery up inside of a prison. You know how important sweets are to a prisoner? You know how much flexing you're doing when you can walk up to that female staff member and be like, hey yo, Miss Bonanza. Yeah, hey, Miss Bonanza, check this out. I done made you just for you now. I done made you. Gosh almighty, my face just getting more bitter, be a face by the most. I done made you this fresh, icy white cinnamon roll. That joint tastes like a kiss, don't it? That might actually get you somewhere, just to be real. Bakery, man, in the bakery, boy, you're gonna be having access to everything. To the cakes, to the cookies, to the pastries, to the shit that's getting prepared just for the staff. Oh man, for the functions, for the special little luncheons that they have, and to the cupcakes with the frosting. God, bakery's like a secret society. These dudes, they're gonna turn their nose up to any other common folk up inside of that prison kitchen. And if you don't know them dudes, they ain't trying to get to know you. And if you don't work in a cooler and can't get them an ice cold cup of milk or some eggs for the cake batter, or maybe some strawberries, sometimes they do have strawberries in prison. You ever had a chocolate covered strawberry in prison? Neither have I, but don't lie, somebody has. Yeah, the bakery's serious business. You know, even guards are gonna try to befriend them dudes. Hey, yo, hey, for real. Hey, I'll go put the God bless his shank up underneath a little dookie stained mat. If you get me one of them icy white cinnamon rolls like you got for Miss Bonanza. Yeah, she came back talking about that joint. Boy, that joint, hey, that joint did something to her. Can I get one of those? What I gotta do for that? Hey, the bakery, that is a position of power up inside of the kitchen. Now, I don't know necessarily that this job is better than the bakery. Oh, in terms of pay up in the bakery too, 45 cents an hour. Cooler jobs, 45 cents an hour. Might even be only 35. Bakery's important though. You baking the bread. Bread's super important. You gotta have them little hockey puck type rolls and biscuits. And that's where they coming from, that damn bakery. You could easily take that experience home and go get you a job working at Hardee's making they biscuits bright and early every morning. Hopefully you'll do better than that. Next on this list is definitely another position of power. Now, not just anybody can get this job, neither. Just like with the bakery, not just anybody can get it. You better be a talented baker. You better have been whipping up for real out there in the free world if you're gonna work up in that bakery. Just like with this next position, you better be somebody who's smart to work dry storage. Now, I don't necessarily know everything that they house in dry storage. A lot of rice, a lot of canned vegetables and things like that. But, in the times that I've seen, usually the guy who works in dry storage, he also does like ordering and like some sort of ordering or some sort of accounting or something. Like he does some paperwork. Like this dude literally got him some sort of a clerical position. Even a little office, oftentimes I've seen set up inside of that dry storage. And you want to talk about some perks? Whoo! When you've got the hiding place for things to go down and you can rent that joint out like it's a motel room. Hey, yo, I gotta F this dude up real quick who's been snatching ass from the tray room. How much you gonna charge me to rent this space? Yeah, it's like a wedding. How much you gonna charge me to rent this space for like 2 minutes? It ain't gonna take no longer than that. For soups, I got you soon we get back. Dry storage, that guy, he's definitely probably gonna have some of the most high security clearance up in the kitchen. The tightest relationships or some of the tightest relationships with staff members. Oh, boy, oh. Look at Jay Smooth. You an accountant now. Oh, gosh, somebody. I didn't even know you knew how to add except for them years that you serving and how to subtract that good time with them charges you catching. Yeah, Miss Bonanza, she be noticing. She be noticing now. And again, you hearing that conversation going that way, but in reality, it's probably going more like, you's a dirty, nasty, stinking prisoner. All prisoners stink. You guys are disgusting. You're like roaches up in here. You just don't die. Damn. Tell me how you really feel. Dry storage, it's usually a hangout. If you can be cool with the dry storage dude and you can go hang out with him and have you a little Sunday brunch or a lunch with him, that dude is always eating good. And mind you, usually all of these positions that we've mentioned above the line, everybody's eating better. Everybody's eating better, but you gotta make it. You gotta make it out of that tray room first. Then you gotta survive the tyranny that takes place on that line. And if you can do so, sky's the limit in terms of where you can go in a prison kitchen. Dry storage, that guy might be making 55 cents an hour too. Dry storage, that guy can usually go into the kitchen whenever he wants, just like a cook might be able to, just like a baker definitely can do it. Just like a guy who works in a cooler can definitely. Hey, guard, open the gate, guard. I gotta go. I work in the produce cooler. Shit. What you think? What you do is important here? I gotta go check the temperature on my crops. That's the crazy thing. Sometimes you got like a green light to just come and go as you please. Now you ain't gonna do it working in the tray room. Hey, guard, yeah, you know me, boy. I just got that job up in the kitchen. Yeah, hey, I need to get down to the kitchen. Oh, what do I do in the kitchen? I work in the, I foghorn, leghorn them trays. Why am I going to isolation though? Why am I getting an escape charge? What the, hey, did I tell you what them bakers is doing in there for real though? Yeah, like that. There's not too much above bakery and not too much above that dry storage, but yet there are. And folks, we're getting to the CEOs of the prison kitchen hierarchy. Head cook. Woo-hoo! Head cook can fire you. You could get fired by this dude. The dude working in dry storage can damn sure get you. I mean, anybody can get anybody fired. That's not even a... But I mean, he can fire you. He ain't got to pass no note or tell no staff what you doing. He can just say, yo, you're fired. You made them pancakes looking like that? Those are actually delicious pancakes. You can't be serving that to no prisoners. Them shit's gotta taste like shoe insoles. You're fired. Get the out of my kitchen. Head cook, this guy's got the relationships you would die for with those female staff members. Dude fat as hell too. He ain't doing no push-ups. The only thing he pushing up is that bib to his chin and that fork or spoon also. Head cook, you better know how to cook some stuff. This dude might even be putting the menu together. Gordon Ramsay for reals. Easily 55 cents an hour, if not more than that. And this is not a job that you can just slide up into. You got to be a cook first. Like this one, it takes, some levels to this thing. From here, you really got the potential to make the major power move. And that is getting over to the creme de la creme of the prison jobs in the kitchen. Staff dining. If you get the opportunity to get up into staff dining, you are as special as they come. Your top pay, your 55 cents, maybe 65, hell, they might even slide you to 85. Something they don't talk about, but you know what happens. Hey, yo, for you, I'm gonna give you $1. That shit you be doing, you be making them spicy chicken sandwiches like Popeyes. Yeah, you getting $1. You've got all the relationships with all the staff members because they got to come in there. Everybody has to eat. You are the envy of all of the other prisoners and also a target as well, the biggest target on your back. Mo money, mo problems. Try working in staff dining, which I've never done. You've got access to real drinks, whether it's real coffee or maybe sodas. Guards might even come in there and bring you something special up out of the vending machine. Hey, yo, this Snicker bar is for you. I ain't even going to leave it on your pillow. What you're doing with that macaroni? That shit's like Cracker Barrel. Staff dining, the perks, endless. You're gonna eat everything that you wanna eat. Your hustle can be as big as you want it to be. You're locked in with a team of other prisoners who are special just like you, and it's far and few between. There might only be like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of y'all. Y'all get the kudos all day long, the attaboys. Hey, that's him right there, boy. He be doing something special. He be whipping that macaroni, putting them little breadcrumbs and croutons on top of that shit. Yeah. I'd release him if I could. I'd have him cooking in my house. What am I gonna be, your butler? I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go home and start me a landscape company. Daddy Do Right Landscape. I look like cooking in your house. You make $12 an hour. I don't make much less than you, and I'm in prison. There's one final job that I want to mention in terms of all of this, the highest job, and then one final thing I want to mention after that. The highest of the highest jobs, in my personal opinion, far exceeding that dry storage, far exceeding that bakery, far exceeding even just your standard wandered staff dining. And that's gonna be your overnight staff dining cook. Gotta have one. Gotta have one for B shift, the guys who are working, the 7 to 7 night shift. Not only you got the relationships, you get to hear the little gossip. The staff dining, it's not gonna be as crowded. It's not gonna be no movement. And a lot of things will move, including private parts and also bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches during that night shift. I mean, they really will. I had a dude who slept beside me in a bunk beside me at Indian Creek, nicknamed Killer. He was an overnight staff dining dude. This dude used to come back with so many breakfast sandwiches. Dude was killing it. Don't know what he was making an hour. I know it was top pay. And man, this dude, and in a place where you weren't able to sleep all day long because you had to go to work or go to school or go to group, there was like exceptions sometimes for the dudes who worked overnight. This dude could sleep all day and party all night. He had it made. One final thing that I want to mention, and perks, endless. One final thing that I want to mention before I wrap this video up, it's kind of interesting. It's from my time in one of the jails when I worked in the kitchen. But, at this jail, which was a co-ed jail, you had a men's side and women's side. It was only the men that actually worked in the kitchen. Yeah, this is going to get sexist super fast. So it was only the men that worked in the kitchen in terms of doing the cooking and, the preparing the trays and, being a juice man, which is something I didn't mention in this because I've only seen that at the jail. But the women, on the other hand, did all of the cleaning in the kitchen. 2021, that's got a little bit of a sting to it right there. Yeah, the women would clean. They worked at the night shift in the kitchen. I don't know how much access they actually got to food, but I hope that they did get to eat. I hope that, some guard would just open that shit up for them girls and just let them get all the whatever they wanted. I was gonna say hot dogs, but I'll leave that one alone. Get whatever they want. You know, I always thought there was something, I always thought that was kind of messed up, man. The girls, they don't get a chance to get it like the dudes do. But whatever. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment on this, letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!